Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora Active whānau, and welcome to a very, very special Halloween edition of Active Live. We have DOONS in studio here with us. Want to say hi?
Kia ora.
Hiya.
If you keep tuned on our socials, you'll be able to watch the live premiere video of all of our costumes later a bit this afternoon, which is good. So the active audience are very familiar with DOONS. You guys have been smashing the top 10 and the top 11 all year long, and they're about to finish their new EP, The Importance of Being Indifferent.
Yes.
When's that going to be coming out?
Soon.
Yeah?
Very soon. It was meant to come out late October, but if you're aware of the date, it is late October and it's not out yet.
Yeah.
So let's say late November.
All right.
It'll be out before the end of the year.
Oh, amazing. What is the meaning behind the importance of being indifferent? Because it's like quite a stance to take. And I love it.
The title itself is slightly ironic because the whole project is very loosely about sincerity and earnestness and kind of how weird it is that it's so hard for people to be sincere. Like, it's always easier just to be, like too cool, just to be like a bit apathetic and indifferent. And so the title as such is about, taking the piss out of that and trying to be sincere with what we're doing, perhaps in an insincere way.
Yeah. It's a good way, though. You're marketing it towards people who, I guess you could say, struggle with sincerity. So you're like, hey, I'm going to take the mick out of this and then actually create an EP to go out with. So how long have you guys been working on this EP for?
About a year now, it would be. I think we wrote, I can't remember, we did like a big writing trip away to kind of like Waikanae ways. Was it December last year? Might have been late last year, and that's where we first wrote Shallows and Two Sides. That's kind of where this project started, and then we've just kind of been working on it throughout the year and adding songs and taking them away and then recording stuff. Obviously, we've got the 2 singles out already, Shallows and Two Sides, and then there's a few more songs to come.
Shallows and Two Sides going to be featured on the new EP, or?
Yep.
Oh,
yep, they're on there.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So there's only 3 more songs to add.
Cool.
And we're kind of finishing off recording them.
If you could describe the EP in 3 words, what do you think it would be?
I might need some help with that, hey? 3 words. I think if you compare it to our other stuff, it's definitely darker, sonically, and more thought out. And also, we've spent a lot more time on this one. With the last EP, we recorded it all in a single day. Everything was tracked live apart from vocals. And so we've spent a lot more time on this one, kind of designing it from a sonic perspective and making sure that we like all of the songs. So, considered.
Yeah, I was about to say considered, yeah. That's very cool. Should we get into it? First track?
Yep, let's do it. So the song is actually the title track from the EP, unreleased as of yet. It's called The Importance of Being Indifferent. Messages and synonyms, squeezing words into new outfits. No sadness in the city, but we're all worried silly. Lane. Stay. Stay in your lane.
still on the Golden Mile. Straight teeth in my crooked colleagues away. You can taste the sounds we made. Stay or late. Stay, stay, stay.
That was the title track from the new EP that's coming out soon. The importance of being indifferent. So you mentioned before that you had a writing trip late last year.
Yes.
So what is the kind of stock standard way that DOONS creates a track? Is it more collaborative? Do you guys go on writing trips often? Or is it more everybody's got set roles?
It definitely varies. I think over time it's become a little bit more collaborative than it used to be. So it, back when we first started, it would be like I would bring a basically finished song to the rest of the band, and then we'd kind of just either play it as I wrote it or slightly varied with kind of very little changes. Whereas now it's definitely more of a everyone's got ideas, and then the song will come from a more collaborative place rather than just me bringing the song and it's like, this is the song, we can't change it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, to you, do you think the DOONS sound has changed with the more kind of collaborative feel to it?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that I'm real stoked about the songs that we've released this year and the EP, as it stands now, is it's got little different parts of us in it, and so it's got more of that collaboration, or everyone's got their own influence, and there's different parts in different songs where I'm like, oh, I love what Peace is doing there, I love what Ben or Tom is doing there, that wouldn't have been part of the song if it had just been me doing everything.
Right, yeah. So
and I don't know, it feels a lot better than it used to be, for sure.
showcases each member.
Yeah, and it feels more like us as well, which is cool.
Yeah. I think that as we've been sort of collaborating more in the songwriting stage, we also just inevitably end up having conversations about direction and things that, those sorts of yarns come about more naturally when you're just in the room writing the song, and then you end up being like, well, this kind of sounds like this. Is that what we want to be doing? And I think that that's been really good as well to sort of hone the sound. And I think that, everyone, like you say, putting in their own bits sort of ends up making it sound more unified somehow.
Yeah, and like bouncing off ideas and stuff. You're like, oh, I like that, or I don't like that. And yeah, I'm definitely more of a, I don't know, like meaningful process of songwriting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really interesting. I think that's very cool that your sound has also changed with the band dynamic as well, that it hasn't stayed stagnant while you guys went forward, that you were able to all evolve together. So, have you had a favourite gig in the last 6 months? Has there been one that's really stood out to you? Because you guys have been out and about performing everywhere.
Yeah, that's quite hard. I think the iGum we played was probably my favourite personally. I don't know how the rest of the boys feel.
I like the Okuni one the most, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was with VMorg, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was sick. Really fun. That was fun.
So
Went up there for a weekend and played a show. It was still level 2 at the time, so everyone
Oh,
was
yeah.
kind of just vibing at tables, but that was kind of fun as well. We had a few mates come down from Auckland, and yeah, it was just a real good weekend. Get out of Welly and play somewhere else, because we do play a lot of shows in Welly, so
Yeah.
it was meant to get out of town and do something different.
Branch into another venue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool. How was it performing for people when they were all just kind of vibing out in their seats?
It was interesting.
Yeah?
But it was fun to just try and, see if you can work a crowd when you're under some kind of constraints.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun from that kind of perspective, I think. It helped that we had friends there,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
But
Moral support is always needed.
yeah. It was very interesting. I'm hoping that we don't have to do that again. But
Yes.
it was nice to,
Know that you can do it.
yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't, but if it does, at least you guys will still be out there jamming.
Yeah.
But speaking of gigs as well, there's something happening in January that you wanted to tell the active audience.
Yes, we are going on a nationwide tour in January. Auckland, Welly, Christchurch, Dunedin. Dates for that will be out soon, but we're still working on a few logistical things there. So, but anywhere around the SRN or just the country, if you want to come hear us play or to do other cheeky live sessions, we'd be mad keen, and come along to a show over the summer, because it's going to be a grand old time.
Yeah, DOONS Take New Zealand.
Yeah.
Summer 2021.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
2021.
Yeah.
Baby.
So how about we give the listeners a little bit of a sneak peek, another one of what
Another
it's going to
one.
sound like with you guys on tour.
We could do that.
Oh, what's the next track?
This is Two Sides. I might actually take my hat off for this, otherwise things can get a bit wild.
Silence to your questions. You make your moves defensive. I wonder if you're earnest. Your body makes me nervous. Why do I feel brand new? There's just something in the way you move. Been chasing flowers instead of your brain. I've been wondering what makes a man. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We got no time for your nuance. Two sides is more than we can see. Can't see the water from the trees. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We got no time for your nuance. Two sides is more than we can see. Can't see the water from the trees. Try to think of answers, but my body's moving backwards. Yeah, you got me hoping, but you're moving in slow motion. Think I wait out the week. This territory I don't know. In my mind, we go home. In my mind, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We got no time for your nuance. Two sides is more than we can see. Can't see the water from the trees. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. We got no time for your nuance. Two sides is more than we can see. Can't see the water from the trees.
two sides live there by DOONS. I'm sure everybody listening will be more than familiar with that song, as that has completely taken all of the Surrey stations by storm.
Woo.
How many weeks did it top the top 10 for? And top 11?
Once or twice?
Once or twice?
Once or
I
twice?
thought it was like 3.
Yeah,
I think
we got at least 2.
At least 2, yeah.
Really brilliant, really good stuff. But we were talking before about the sound of the importance of being indifferent. When you started this project, did you endeavour to make it a darker sound, or like did you have any specific kind of sonic idea or destination in mind when you first started creating this?
Yes and no. Like we had another idea for a project from a concept point of view that was darker than the one that we have now. So I think the original idea for it has definitely influenced the darker sound of what we've come out with. But I think recently that's just the kind of sound that we've gravitated towards, really. Like for a while there, in the early days, we were trying to be like fun and that kind of just happy, I guess. But I think we very quickly realized that wasn't us from a sonic perspective.
Oh yeah,
Not that we're not happy people, but just we like stuff that has a little bit more depth and stuff that you feel like you can touch. Whereas I feel like a lot of, for me at least personally, a lot of the happier sounding indie music, you listen to it once and you can just kind of like put your hand through it and it's not there. Whereas like we like having stuff that's tangible, or stuff that feels tangible to us rather than stuff that is just tangible because it's darker. I mean, like happy music is tangible as well. But
Oh, I definitely think with as many gigs as you guys have been doing and the crowds that you've been drawing, I think a lot of at least the Wellington crowd really appreciate the substance and the kind of depth of your music. Anyway, at least that's what I'm aware of.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's what we'd like to think.
Yeah, so it's all good there. What elements have you included in this EP? Like any specific pedals or effects to kind of create the darker sound?
Yes, I mean, one of for us, we've always kind of predominantly been a live act, and so for us, when we're recording stuff or producing, it's always kind of trying to recreate the energy that we know we have live in a recording, and so a lot of stuff does just kind of replicate what we do live, but it has influenced itself a little bit more. I mean, like Benji's been doing all the production, so he can probably speak to it more than I can.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think, we've added synths and stuff this time, which is not something we'd really delved into much in the past, and that was like very much, just like a pretty budget Casio Tone 7000 running through pedals and stuff to try and find some sounds, and so definitely lots more experimentation and I mean often I'm a pretty set and forget sort of thing with the pedals. You just set them up how you like them, but a lot more just turning this knob while we record this part and see how that sounds, and just playing around and having time to do that. I think is the main thing. Like going away recently was great for that. Just have some time to explore sonically.
Yeah, like I was saying before, we've kind of spent just so much more time on this one than we did the last one. So with time comes, spending a couple of hours picking the right tone instead of just being like, right, well, this is how it goes, which has been nice because it just feels like we've put more of ourselves into it, I guess.
I think it's brilliant, yeah. It's really interesting, just as you just said, spending hours trying to get the right tone. It's often listeners of your music get the polished product, the finished product, without knowing everything that goes in behind it. Do you guys have any specific sonic inspirations, like any bands or people that you really draw inspiration from, or is it more kind of just you thrive off of each other?
It's a bit of both, really. I mean, all of us have our own stuff that we're into. There's not a really lot of stuff that we could say this is what we're trying to do. In a sense, I think, we went to high school together, so back in the day, it was a lot of Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
What else is in there? That kind of stuff. Classic indie bands.
Yeah. Kind of.
I think the stuff that we listen to these days is probably more jazz and soul influenced.
Oh, interesting.
Even though we play indie rock sounding stuff, for the most part. But I think, I don't know. maybe we'll catch up.
Yeah, no, but that brings me to a question specifically for you, Elliot. Could you tell us a little bit about kind of your own vocal journey and how you've like honed your vocal style? Because like you do have a great voice, you've got an incredible voice, but it's interesting that you're listening more to like jazz and soul and.
I guess I don't know. I grew up singing in church choirs, so and a lot of musical theatre when I was younger as well. So I think I've got it needs to at least initially it was a lot of like I guess what you'd call being classically trained, but since I stopped singing in choirs and doing musical theatre like at school, I think that's when I've been able to do stuff that's a little bit weirder because I don't have people telling me that I need to sing in a certain way. All of my favourite vocalists are like jazz and soul singers. There was a point there where I was just trying to imitate Jordan Rakai, who's a great Kiwi artist.
Yes.
But yeah, less so now. I think definitely got a little bit more confidence in the way that I sound by myself these days. So it's just kind of like seeing what happens and what goes. And if people think it sucks, well then stuff them.
That's on them. One last question before the next song. It's a bit of a chicken and the egg question. What comes first, the lyrics or the music?
It varies. Depends on the song. Depends on the song. I think more often than not, I'll have some kind of idea about what the song sounds like sonically before the lyrics come. And that's what it tends to be like more now. Like we'll have a jam of something and we'll have like a groove or an idea or a melody or something, and then we'll build it from there, and then the lyrics will come later. That's what it tends to be more so now, now that we do everything collaboratively for the most part. But it really depends. Sometimes I'll have an idea for a lyric that just sits around for ages, and then we have the sonic thing, and then I just slap that on the top, and it's like, actually, this works somehow.
Yeah.
It really depends. I can't give you a
definitive
definitive answer.
That's fair enough. Should we head along to the next track? What are we going to be listening to?
We're going to play Shallows for you.
Oh, amazing.
It wouldn't be a 2020 DOONS set without it.
I called you cold, and I'm sure you know that I lied when I told you it wasn't so. You're pouring salt in my eyes, I wanna hold you, but you should know that I don't know if I called, would you follow? You say my name, what a shame that I'm not used to the shallow. I'm not used to the shallow. You call me sweet, you know I'm weak. I got home for the first time since I've been. So it seems that I owe you for surfacing me. Put your dreams out to sea. I can swim, I can follow. Got my feet in the deep, said you sing, I can breathe, I'm not used to the shallow. I'm not used to the shallow. I'm not used to the shallow. And you go, but you hold, just to remind me I'm not your goal. You said it's so. Boy, don't play nice for me. So it's the same old, floats on lonely. You don't follow. I'm down and I'm out. I'm a drown in your shallow. I'm a drown in your shallow. I'm a drown in your shallow. I'm not you.
There we go. That was the very famous Shallows by DOONS, and that was in for Active Live. So where can the wonderful Active listeners keep up to date with what you guys are up to?
Oh, anywhere you care to receive your daily dose of DOONS. I was going to say your daily dose of social anxiety through social media, but
That's just everyone.
Facebook, Instagram, Spotties, Apple Music. Search up the DOONS. We'll be there.
You'll be there?
We'll be there waiting for you with open arms.
Oh, they're creating a DOONS family. Hear that, Active listeners? They want you. So the new EP is tentatively out late November?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You
Amazing.
heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
Hold me to account if it's not, okay? I want you to cancel me if it's not out by then.
Oh, that's a big call. We have a very dedicated listenership, so they will come for you.
I hope so.
Oh, love that. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to DOONS for coming in to perform today.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you keep an eye out on their social media and their music streaming platforms about updates, about the tour and the new EP, the importance of being indifferent. I'd also like to do another huge thanks to New Zealand On Air Music, who without their support, Active Live could not happen. So massive thanks to there.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Big cheer.
Yeah, make sure you keep an eye out for the Facebook video a little bit later, and we're going to go to Beck now on Drive.
Thank you very much, everybody.